Test, test, test. Can everybody hear me? There is 0 people in the chat. I'm saying test to nobody. Cindy's in the back. That's good. That's a good sign. Just waiting for people to show up. How you doing, James? Yes, yes. What's up, Chris? How you doing? Welcome. Oh, that's great, man. That's great. I'm glad that it's weird. I mean, I've gone through so many pairs of headphones and different microphones and all that stuff, and turns out that just regular old nothing is better. And so I guess less is more, right? I'm doing good. I guess I always say it like this, right? With all things considering, right? And we all have an uphill climb. I'm doing pretty darn great. We all got challenges though, right? And I would say that at least today I got a couple hours sleep. But God usually gives me a lot of energy to do this. Don't forget about a good. Oh, yeah, yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. Oh, yeah, you're right about that. Well, no matter what, I always pray before anyway, but I think that it's important for everyone to hear the prayer and for the enemy out there to hear it too. And so I'll probably make it less wordy, but nowadays I just want to stay in prayer because even when you like go up to somebody and you're well-meaning, right? You have good intentions, right? Sometimes people could take that as like they don't know how to take it. They're like, man, why is this person being nice? Well, why um does this person feel bad or anything and want to make things right? Because so many people out there don't make things right. They just roll on like nothing happened, and that becomes comfortable. Like, okay, well, people do me wrong, then at least it gives me the freedom to do them wrong back. That's what people think. But if someone comes and tries to make up for it, then it's like, oh, well, I really don't want to like this person, but they're trying to make it right. And, having to like somebody is uncomfortable. And I get that. I get that. I don't think any I don't think I've ever expected anybody to forgive me or anybody to like me ever in life. I just do my best, and sometimes, like, I get it. It could seem too good to be true. And I don't blame people for being a little suspicious. I mean, especially in this world. I definitely understand. I mean, if someone was in this day and age, right, that I didn't know or didn't know very well was trying to be friendly with me, I'd have my own questions too, right? And so we all have experiences that got us to this point. And so I'll go ahead and pray now that there's enough people here. Hey Sheila, hey Deb, how you doing? Welcome, guys. We have a good show today. I'm gonna have Cindy up here helping me talk to Chris about his testimony, and I think that's gonna be good. Yeah, it's gonna be good. All right, so Father God, I just want to say, please protect us. Please protect this stream. Please protect me. Please protect the people in the stream. And help me to desire your will and not think about my own will and my own needs and my own flesh. Please help me to consider everybody else's needs and to love others as I would love myself. Please help me to forgive. Please help, protect everybody here from attacks from the enemy, and um, please even save us from ourselves here in these last days. There's so much going on, and there's so much hostility, but your perfect peace and your spirit has been driving us. And we thank you so much, Father, for everything that you provide for us. And I hope this message reaches everybody. In Jesus' name, amen. And before we came on, I was thanking God for Chris and for you guys. And having Chris on last night, I don't want to embarrass him before he comes up here, but he's a young guy, man. That gives me hope. It just, with all the things going on in the world, right? You see a young person getting it, it just brings you hope. It gives you hope. And I start thinking like, well, if I would have got it at that age, like where would I be? And the possibilities are exciting, right? Because if we are reaching the end, we're gonna be one day closer to our Father, right? And if we got 100 years left, right, then it's gonna be pretty exciting for Chris, And so I like to think about that. And James, that's perfect, that I think that's like the story of my whole situation, right? Tired but feeling good, you know. Hey, Sac Truth, I do want to have you on, man. I sent you an email. It's just like a touch base real quick, just to make sure of a couple things. But yes, I definitely want to have you on as soon as possible. Absolutely welcome. All right, so I'm gonna welcome Cindy to the show. Go ahead and click that link, Chris, whenever you want, and I'll just bring you on after I bring Cindy on. You look like, now that you asked, he asked, how old do I look? I would say you look in your late 20s. But if you're in your early 30s, then you're very young looking, early 30s. I looked up at the book, Devil's Pulpit. Many in here would not approve. Oh, of course not. Of course not. Yeah, definitely, Sheila. I totally agree with that. All right, well, let me bring on Cindy while Chris hits the link. Welcome, Cindy, to the show. How are you doing?
Hello, Stephen. Hello, Chad.
Go ahead and turn your microphone up a little bit.
Can you hear when I click it?
What?
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
You can hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, how boring. Can you hear me now?
Hello.
This is a little creepy. Tell this boy, I'm just grandma with a weird sense of humor. I feel
Right,
like, ooh, we got a young one, said the spider to the fly. Come on in.
right. Oh, that's right. He said his age yesterday. It's that number.
Yeah.
It's that number. It's like, no, you're not allowed to be that age. You got to go from 32 straight to 34. You're
Lighten up.
32.9. He's 32.9, everybody. All right, let's welcome Chris to the show, okay? Um, hey Chris, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Good, brother. How are you?
Ah, all things considering, I'm doing pretty darn great.
That's good. Good. Very blessed. Very blessed.
Yeah,
Over.
I was really happy to have you on last night, man. Like, I almost regret not going a little bit longer because, um, I started to feel really good afterwards. Like, as soon as we ended, I was like, you know what? I was starting to get like a second wind. I was like, oh man, I probably could have gone another hour, but I didn't know exactly what your situation was. And sometimes it's better to plan these things so like, just when you're coming on and when you're going to be done, uh, just you can kind of plan your emotions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I appreciate you having me on, dude. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Good
Say hi,
stuff.
Cindy.
Hi, Chris.
Hi,
That's my
Cindy.
son's name.
Really?
Is it really Chris, or is it a short form of it?
It's short for
Okay.
Christopher.
Yeah. That's my boy. That's my
Really?
boy.
Oh.
Oh, you don't also play the drums, do you?
No, I don't. I don't. I wish I would have played the piano because my mom plays the piano and organ, but I did not learn. It's never too late, though.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
For him, Cindy.
Oh, for me, I thought he meant because I got no rhythm. I play, but
Right.
you don't want to hear it.
She thought you were talking about her. Yeah. So like
That's
a lot of things that I was like curious about yesterday, right? Like I thought about some of the questions that I would ask, and I know that uh you talked about the situation with your brother and you're pretty open with that. Like
Yeah.
what happens like when something like that happens? Um do you lose like all of your friends, the whole community? I mean, everything like all at one time? I mean, is there any like form of support for you like when you guys are leaving the church? Like,
Um, let's see. Man, I would have a couple people from the church, always encouraging me to come back. But even when I was going to the church, I questioned a lot, a lot of it. I got baptized when I was 8 years old because that's about the age they do it, and all I remember is really like just wanting to get wet, getting that big old tub that all the other kids did at 8 years old. That's what I really remember. So I got baptized more, I knew what I was doing, but at the same time I was a little young. So
yeah.
I can't say that I believe everything that the Mormons do. I
Well,
don't.
this is one thing that surprised me, Chris, is like, I thought that it was like regular Christianity, right? They there's a book added, of course, right? And I
Yeah.
thought that it was just like kind of like an add-on, like of this is what happened from this date to this date up until now, right? I thought it was that sort of thing, right? But I had a friend tell me, right, that there are some levels, right, where they think they're gonna have their own planet and like be god of their own world and like I mean some pretty far out stuff, man. But it's not like normal knowledge.
It's kind of nutty when you think about it. Joseph Smith was a Freemason. They don't teach
Yeah,
this in church, but I found out later. I mean, and not all Freemasons are bad or anything like that, but I mean, it's the secret societies inside the secret societies. But man, the way I see it, Joseph Smith and what's his name, David Koresh, they didn't have a lot of differences except the time they came about. Because Joseph Smith, he had his own army back in the day, and was arrested. And I mean, you could go watch videos about it and all that,
yeah,
but
sure.
there's some questionable things of that religion.
Well, do you think that just like how flat Earth came out, like once the internet was like full of it, like because the internet came out, I would say it started getting good in the mid '90s, but it really didn't get good until like just before 2010, maybe 2007, right? Where it wasn't just cat videos anymore, and pictures of your family. It was like information. You could look up anything, right? And
Yeah.
I was under the impression that like the internet destroyed Mormonism, just because of the freedom of information that everyone had access to instead of just the stories and then the structure.
There are a lot of attacks on the church, like as far as there's so many like offshoots, off branches, whatever you want to call it. Like the one down in Mexico, where the leader ended up in prison. They called themselves like the fundamental Mormons or something like that, but it was basically this guy just a sexual predator, and
Yeah.
the people still follow him apparently. So it gets
And that
kind of
always that always baffled my mind, Chris, though. Like there'll be some shady people, man, with some like doing shady things, right? And then people will follow these people and defend these people, like I don't know where all these people come from that follow these people.
yeah.
Sounds
And
familiar.
Yeah, right. Go ahead, Cindy.
No, I was thinking of something else. I don't want it to sound like the Inquisition, but right away when he said different sects, I thought of Jeffrey Lundgren and the Blood Atonement killings. You ever hear of him?
No, what's up with those, Cindy?
Ah, you don't want to know. That's a different sect of the Mormons, and that was nasty
Well,
book.
I think like any religion, right? At this point, right? Any church out there has got its
Yes.
share of it's we're at the point now where almost everything is corrupt, at some level, right? Even a
Any
place
walk
where
of
you can,
life.
right,
Not to be picking on Mormons.
yeah, right. Not to be picking on Mormons, everything is equally nasty out there. And it's like it's just interesting because I know that probably before the internet, right, you had what you heard growing up, and then the structure is so strong that like if you leave you lose all of your social life, all your friends, all your support all at once. And so even when you hear a couple things that don't sound right, it's not enough to leave. But like the advent of something like the internet where you can get like all the information at one time of all the shady stuff, then you're like, oh man, like we got to get out of here. And even that might not even be enough to leave, right? you know
what's crazy too is my mom works for the church. She works for LDS Family Services, and she's worked there for 20 something years.
yeah.
Anyway, my dad was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis when I was 8, and then he treated my mom just like crap. He would have these outbursts and just go crazy. And then he got diagnosed with dementia. And my dad he's the one that got my mom into the church, like when they met. And my mom went from her first husband, which was a very abusive man, to my dad, which is a very manipulative man. So I'm sorry. It's hard.
I get it.
He used the church to sort of manipulate my mom, you could say, because they do believe that let's see, I forget a lot of it, but they believe there's like I think four or five different levels of like the celestial kingdom.
They got to have the password, right?
Yeah, like the ones that go to the temples and keep their temple recommends and do, they are they're the ones that get sealed to their families and all that. They're supposedly go to the highest one, and then there's a lower one, and then the middle one would be kind of like Earth, being
Yeah.
basically like a spirit just left on Earth, and then and then under that's hell. So I think it's like 4 levels, they believe, something like that. But I
Yeah.
forgot where I was going with it.
But like,
Not to
so
feel
your dad had like a certain level or something and held that like, did he hold that over her head in some way or?
Yeah, when before we knew he had dementia, because he got it so young. He got it from, I guess, the multiple sclerosis brought it on, but he was in the army, and he got a certain type of pneumonia,
Yeah.
and then that pneumonia caused the MS. Luckily, I was very blessed growing up. He got full disability. We were very tight there for a long time until he got on full disability. And then the VA paid for this house we're living in. I still live with my mom. Not
Nice.
still. I'm back living with my mom now that I have my son. But that's a
Cool.
whole other story too. My son's mom's a meth addict, and she chooses meth over her children.
It's
Chris,
so, it's so,
not to pick on your religion or your family, but that's a very common story in a lot of Jehovah's Witness. The
Yeah,
families are treated like that. Those kind, it could be a Lutheran. It could be, you don't feel like you're special because of that religion. That happens in families. It's well known.
yeah.
yeah,
I'm
don't feel
sorry,
picked
Stephen.
on,
Go
you
ahead.
know.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
and don't
saying
and don't and don't feel picked on at all, you know, like
no.
I really appreciate your candor and your like your openness with this, you know, like it's so rare nowadays that, you know, people share their story. Um, you know, and that's what it is, right? Is our testimony helps us and helps other people, right? And
Sharing your pain, yes. You don't know
yeah,
how many people that
absolutely.
helps.
So what brought you to like, you know, like the truth movement, right? Like, you know, I say that in quotes, right? The truth community, or, you know, flat earth or, you know, like what brought you to, you know, your road to the truth or your road to Jesus? Like, what exactly was that like for you?
I always have known God, but when I was 18 years old, I got in a bad car wreck. I rear-ended someone, not too bad, but then this truck hit me going like 55 miles an hour, didn't even brake, and it was bad. And then I found myself addicted to, hydrocodone, and then just kind of went downhill from there. That's when I didn't lose faith, but I just kind of stopped praying. I stopped, like, all I really cared about was, you know, drugs, finding, you know, prescription medications. And that was a real dark time in my life. Um,
Chris, Chris,
yes,
because of that, did you go through a period where you were angry with God?
you could say that. Yeah, I was somewhat not angry at him, but I was just kind of like I had a lot of hate in my heart, not towards him, but like towards my dad and towards let's see, sorry, I'm trying to get my camera here. Um, and then towards my son's mom, I had a lot of hate in my heart, and it took me a while to get over that. And yeah, after that, I got sober because I made a promise to God that if my son came out normal, that I would quit everything. And I have been sober
Yeah.
for 8 years now.
Oh,
If
that's great. How many years is that? How many years? I missed.
8 years.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And so you got an 8-year-old boy now?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, what a blessing.
Yeah,
What a blessing.
I'm very blessed.
And so like you know, is your so does your mom still work for the church and is she has she like come out of the church spiritual wise or is she still in the church? How's that situation?
She still works and she still goes to church because she technically has to have her temple recommend to be eligible for her job. Which my mom, she really is a saint, and I mean that. Like and nobody's perfect, obviously, but my mom, she is been a rock, a big rock in my life, other than God. She has been just always there for me. But I would bring these things up to my mom, and I would question stuff, and I hate to do that, make her question her religion, but she made a good point. She said, "I don't think I'm going to ever change your mind. I hope I can, but I'm not like I'm trying to, but I'm not." But she made a good point by saying that if the leaders of the church did deceive her, that's on them on Judgment Day. Do you believe that?
Well, it's tough to say, Chris. That's a very very tough question. I would say that sometimes we're faced with new information, right? And it's difficult, right? That you know, out of the choices that we have, right, that we got to make the best choice. And so, that's very tough. That's very tough. Um, I would say that if if she believes that she's saved by faith alone in Jesus Christ, that she's got a good shot, you know.
Yeah.
Because I don't. I mean, that's all I could say, right? Is I don't know if the church undoes any of that, as long as you don't put anything between that relationship, right?
Yeah.
And so, you said your mom's in a field, right, where she's helping people, right? And
Yeah.
so, like, like that's also part of it too, right? Like, she wants to keep her job. I bet it's not even always about the money. She probably enjoys helping people and likes to see people doing well that she's helped. And so, there's another side to that, right? But I would say if you put anything in between faith alone in Jesus, right? That that's just reality, right?
Yeah.
It's something to face. But it's tough to say, man. I would probably ask as many people as possible that you trust, that have a solid foundation with God, right?
Yeah.
And that's all you could do.
And
When did Go
so
ahead.
go ahead, man.
No, 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 go ahead, please.
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say anyway. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
So like I was gonna try to change the mode a little bit, right? And just sort of like lighten things up a little bit. And I just wanted to know like um
Can you
like
sing?
yeah, go ahead. Oh yeah, yeah.
He wanted to know if you could sing.
What was the first like truth movement type conspiracy thing that you got into? Was it flat earth, or was it like the trans agenda, or like what was the thing that like stuck out and became like, because everyone kind of like picks you know their favorite truth subject, and like they kind of hang out in those groups. And was it flat earth for you?
For me,
Yeah.
it was 9/11,
Yeah.
and uh, then I started watching. Let's see, A Call for an Uprising, and I started seeing all the symbolisms and the subliminal messaging they put in everything, including our kids' shows. And then let's see, I was watching uh, Good Lion, Good Lion films, Good Lion.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's back in the day, man.
yeah, he got busted for being at that uh, January 6th thing, and I tried to warn him not to go. It's
Yeah.
like, man, don't do it. But he didn't listen, but it's all good. I still talk to him on Instagram. Um, but yeah, he made a video of about flat Earth, and I never discounted flat earthers or anything like that because there was always more evidence proving the Earth was flat than there was that it was round. Because I've never flown around the world. I've never seen the curvature of the Earth. You
Yeah,
know,
me neither.
but
I've flown around the world, but I've never seen the curvature.
yeah, that's crazy. Let's see. He made a video about the firmament in the flat Earth, and in that video, he found God, and it was just like for me, it was just like it was huge. Like it was definitely making sense what he was showing. Um, that and he made, let's see, all these, pervy wood, like 1 through, I think he's made 8 of them now. It's about Hollywood and all their stuff, the adrenochrome linked
Yeah,
back to Wuhan, and the
yeah.
rabbit hole goes deep, man. Like we were saying this morning, the hole goes deep.
I'll say this: just like be careful some of the trigger words.
Oh
Like
yeah,
yeah, but don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. You're all good right now. But
I'm good.
like just be mindful because I want to leave the stream up for at least a day. For
yeah,
people to get a chance to see it.
I
Go ahead,
feel you.
Cindy. You had a
Said it was
question?
all good. All
And
good.
then, so have you seen like Jeremiah Cohen and channels like that? Because it sounds like Jeremiah Cohen does stuff exactly like what your friend does with the Perby wood and all that stuff.
I might have seen him. I don't know by the name.
So like
I
he
didn't.
does a lot of videos about like targeted individuals, and he does a lot of videos about like symbolism in movies, celebrities, right? Um, um, like different types of like he does catalog all the different hand symbolisms that they do. Um, it's a pretty he does like pretty detailed work. And there's another channel. It's Josh Sparrow, and he does kind of like an at-home like version that we would do of that. But this guy Jeremiah Cohen is like he does like almost professional work, and it just sounded like when you were describing that other guy in his videos, it sounded like the same type of thing.
I've probably seen his work. If he's a flat earther, truther, I've probably seen it. But I was looking for that Sparrow guide today, but I was looking for, I thought it was John Sparrow, and I could
No,
not find one that was looking like it. So it's Josh
Josh,
Sparrow. Uh,
can somebody put a link in the chat for Josh Sparrow? That would be super awesome. He's got like I don't know, probably 5,000 subs. So thanks, guys. Yeah, they'll put it in the chat for you.
thank
And
you.
that'll be good because like I like people like see like for me, right, it's not like a paranoia thing, right, but like when somebody reaches a level of subscribers that's too big, sometimes I'm like, nah, I don't know if I want to mess with these. Like if they have like like a call for an uprising, right, I love him, right, but like he's got like at the very top limit of what I would trust, you know what I mean? Like if he had 1 million subscribers, right, I'd be like, I don't know, he's very good at what he does, but it
Yeah.
makes you question why certain channels are still around. Now he's pretty good at like um making it work, right, starting new channels and all this kind of stuff. He's very smart, and so that's probably why he's where he's at. But if I saw a channel that had like 5 million subs or something like that talks about Hollywood symbolism, it gets me to question things. So if I could get the same type of information from somebody that has like almost none, right? It's like it's more believable to me. And I don't know why that I have that prejudice already built in, right? But I do.
Thank you. Here we go again, if that's the channel that he's looking for. Stephen, Faithful Faither has a problem with Faith Farah. She can't post links. Are you there, Stephen? Did Stephen fall off?
I don't know.
Okay, Chris, it's your show. Go.
Yeah, this is me and you, girl. I don't know. I don't know what
Good.
happened.
Oh, he probably knocked himself off again. He's probably looking at the chat. He's looking for that link. So
So
go
tell me
ahead.
about you.
Oh,
How are you,
you know,
Cindy?
I'm your grandma. I have socks older than you. Oh, there we are. We're stuck now. Stephen, come back. Don't leave me in charge. I'm a crazy woman. You'll be talking about rock and roll bands in a minute.
That's fine with me. We can talk rock and roll.
Yeah, I have grandchildren that are close to your age.
Yeah?
Not quite as old, but yeah, I've got a 30-year-old grandson. So there's Stephen.
Okay, guys,
Good
I'm back. I'm back.
grief. Don't
Were
leave
you
us
guys all
alone.
right?
You good,
You
bro?
know, for
Oh, your sound is bad, Stephen.
Cutting out a bit.
You got your robot stuff going. It's the devil attacking because we're so excited about having a young man here giving a good testimony and telling us what's going on.
I need y'all's help. I need prayers because I am very much trying to quit smoking cigarettes. And
Well,
I quit for 3 years. 3 years I quit, no problem. And I started back up again, and I only smoke them in the morning, but I just got to cut that out of my life and then cut this vaping out.
you're barking at the wrong person here because I don't think there's anything wrong with smoking. Sorry. I'm sure
No,
you can find a. I can still pray for you, but I just
I
don't think that's a
appreciate it.
big deal.
I appreciate it though. I gotta quit though. It's so expensive.
That, yeah, that's one of the great reasons. But everything's poison these days. The air, the water, the food.
You got it. GMOs. Oh,
Yeah.
Monsanto.
Poor Stephen.
I
Stephen,
know.
you're giving your show up to an old woman who's not very interesting.
Oh, I love you, Cindy.
Goodness. Well, I've got a very strange sense of humor, but I was impressed by how you came in and how you talk to people. That is a manly thing to do, what you did. I didn't see a reason for you to be apologizing and backing off.
will
I
it be
didn't
all
see any of
right?
that. That was amazing, though. No one does that these days. That's a manly thing to do.
Thank you, Cindy.
Stephen, are you back?
Yeah, I'm glad that you guys were able to carry on.
Okay, you're all right now.
So,
You can be heard, Stephen.
yeah, I think it's all right. I'm not sure exactly what the issue is, but with all these 5G boxes humming out here, you'd think that it would be all right,
All right. No, that's
And
not good for you, Stephen.
but as soon as you start telling the truth on here, you're going to start buffering. And
Yeah.
plus, we had a couple of keywords, and so you never know what YouTube is doing, right? And
Oh no,
so,
no. I don't think
it
it's
is what it is, right?
it's you, Stephen. They like to bother you. Oh, there he goes again. Oh, he speaks
Al,
truth and they throw him out.
Al Gore and your rhythms.
Yeah.
There he is.
It is his fault, isn't it?
Yeah,
He
that was my
invented
fault this
this.
time.
No, not your fault, Al Gore.
Al
Yeah.
Gore
No, I mean,
rhythm.
I honestly think that like on YouTube, like when you start telling the truth, right? Like, cause like there's streams where I'll be rolling along, right, and then just like say a couple truthful things, they'll start buffering, and it's like it's uncanny how often it happens, like it can't be coincidence all the time,
I've
and
seen it
so
on
I
many
think
channels.
I think we're making the devil mad.
Exactly. Trying to bring us down.
But it's like like with all this stuff, like with all this stuff in the quote unquote truth community, right? And then there's so many different directions to go with it, right? Like I know a lot of people want to stay pretty vague, right? Like they'll be like, okay, well, I want to start a flat earth channel and it will be about subs and making money or whatever. Or they'll want to do like a certain channels, right? But when you go all the way with it, right, and you go as deep to the truth as you can, right, and you realize that okay, the Bible is true, and these are the things we need to talk about. Uh, the audience does shrink, you know what I mean? And so like, there's so few channels like that. And I wonder what it's going to be like for us coming in the future.
Even this other channel I watched he's not even necessarily a truth channel. It's Good Luck America, and he shows videos about when the cops do a great job and when the cops do a horrible job. He'll call them out on it. And I've noticed on some of his live streams, when he starts talking about something controversial, his camera will start messing up, his audio, everything. So it's not just truth channels. It's anybody that talks any truth to power. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's insane. And then, but like, this is my question, right? Why does the more truth you speak, the more the crowd shrinks. And then like, when you get down to the nitty gritty, right? Let's say like in this chat, right? Like we agree like on 99% of stuff, like at this level, right? Where everybody is like, a truther with everything, and they're in this chat, and they're a Christian, right? Then any little thing will like make the chat like pop like popcorn and divide everybody. Like any
Yeah.
little disagreement. But if I could get any one of my family members, right, as far along as you are, right, I would be so happy, like, oh yeah, yeah, it's working. Like they see the truth. And it's like, why are we so hard on each other?
Yeah. It's a big problem. America is so divided, and it's all by design, unfortunately. Oh, there he
Uh-oh,
goes.
we lost him again. Arwen, thank you for supporting
Man,
my
I wish I
view.
wasn't having so many technical. Go ahead, Cindy.
I think they heard me. It was about the cigarettes,
Go ahead,
for you
Cindy.
to want to know. Stephen, your avatar is gone. Is it really you? Wow.
This
Yeah.
is James.
Uh-oh. No, don't leave me as the only one here. Okay, chat, what are you doing? Talk to me.
Okay, I'm here. I'm
Oh,
here. Can you hear me?
yes.
Am I
You
coming through?
you have no avatar, but you're heard.
Hey, Cindy, am I coming through?
Yes. No picture.
Man, it's like crazy
Oh,
thing. I don't know
robot.
what's going. What happened, Chris? You all right?
Robot sound. He fell off. This is craziness. I've seen this on streams lately so much.
Hello?
We can hear you, but we can't see you, Stephen. This is crazy. The internet is attacking everyone. Absolutely, Rob. Absolutely. Yes, faithful faither. Oh my goodness, look at this. The old senile woman's in charge on her own. Good grief. Of course, that's Satan. Who else would put me in charge? My goodness, this is nuts. Chris, are you back in chat? Are you okay? I don't think that's his name. I think that's something else on there. Stephen, if you can hear me, if you take that logo off the bottom, maybe that's part of your problem, according to Shepard. Yeah, that was his comment. Level up is right. I don't know why it shows up like that. Good grief. I don't even tap dance. I can't do anything for you people. Stephen, you nutcase. Come back. Come back, little Sheba. Yeah, level up. We've all had bad connections recently. I've seen streams where the person that started the stream fell off and the chat just went on for hours with no one on screen. This is the internet. This is on purpose. This is not Stephen's fault. This is craziness keeping up. Hello, Darlene. Tell them how we went through this just recently, where the owner of the stream disappeared. Oh, no. Sorry, Rob. You don't like tap dancing. Okay. Oh, boy. Well, there's a vote for me ever being right. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I guess if we don't have Stephen, he can't click you in. Well, you guys just talk amongst yourself because we got nothing going on here. Yeah, Darlene, that's everyone disappeared. Why didn't I disappear? What? They left you the evil one. Yeah, it was. It was until they all got kicked off. It's the way of the net. Thank you, James. Good point. Thank you, Deb. And his son. He has a young one. Bless them. Well, if anyone wants to go to my channel to go see a 2-minute video of my grandson that lost his job, it's called This Is How It's Done. Just off the subject. I'm not brave. I'm an idiot. Chris, I'm just an old idiot. Not brave. I was going to say the reason he was a wildland firefighter, and you know why he doesn't have a job now is what I would, but I don't want to trigger anybody worse than they were already triggered with special words. Oh, Stephen doesn't smoke anymore. He can't send you a smoke signal, Hannah. Come on up, Deb. Pray over this. Pray for Stephen to come back. Dear Father, remove all the evilness over this video right now in this StreamYard production here. Let Stephen come back in Jesus' name. Yes, Shepherd. Thank you, Jesus. All right, here we go. Let's do a little testimony from me until they come back. I've been very, very ill for a long time. I've been exceptionally ill for the last 2 or 3 days. But Jesus always comes through. Jesus always comes back. No, he doesn't give me the vigor and the strength of being a 14-year-old, but he gives me enough so that I can get back up and get back on this again. Pray for that. Pray for him to help you. No, I don't want to fetch and moan about being sick and having pains and things like that, because the Bible says if you murmur, you just get more of the same. I'm only telling you this because he's true, and he will come back and bring you back up. Yeah, I can't leave. Well, I can leave the studio. You want me to leave the studio so it shuts down? Stephen could open another one. Okay, God bless all you people in chat. I'm going to leave the studio, and then you can shut this down, and we'll find out from Stephen what happened later. Okay?
This will be very strange. Let me know here something. I'm gonna go ahead and open another. Okay.